What's going on, everybody? I will wait a few moments here, see who shows up. We'll have a little chitty chat. And as usual, for anybody that comes there in the future, it usually takes about 5 minutes before I get into full swing. But right now, could be a little more challenging due to, I said due to, due to Mercury retrograde, uh, all of the planetary influences, all of the retrogrades. There's, I think, 5 of them right now. And also the full moon coming here, eclipse, and the day out of time, according to the Mayans. So there's a bunch of things that I've been doing personally out in the field, out in the realm, with living souls and people running around doing work and ridiculousness. What's up, Electric Towel? What's up, Mr. Towel? And I just really haven't had much to say. Energy has been diverted in the realm out here, not so much in the digital realm. So um, healing in many different ways, my own healings and helping other people and strangeness and all the crazy stuff that goes on with what we consider astrology and energies. It's, Daniel Drury had just made a video on why he's been eating raw meat, raw eggs, raw milk, just like a lot of raw foods, not vegetation, not fruits. And he was talking about losing, um, not having a lot of like energy. Like he had stamina to go like run miles, but he didn't have any strength. He felt like he was missing strength. And I want to touch on that as a little side note to think. Well, it's not really a side note. It's actually part of it because we talk about energies and planets and realms, and it's very interesting um, because of the different realms I've been through. Both, if we think about it in states, I'm going to get to Neville Goddard a little bit. States of consciousness, um, states of being, realms that you live in here, getting out of body, um, different types of psychedelics. What's up, Dudley? What up, Pete? Rep as uh, Dudley. Funny enough, I was hanging with somebody that's very tribal. I've met people. I meet them. A lot of them are in New Orleans. A lot of travelers, but most of us are in New Orleans. What up, Johnny K? What up, GP? Yeah, I hear you. I mean, for years. I mean, it's taken me many, many years. You know, 13 times 3, that many. Um, so let's get into this a little bit here. We'll let the stragglers have to rewind later. What's up, Journey of the Enlightened Path, humans, and whatever we're doing here. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So where to start? While this should be challenging to me because I'm Mercury and Mercurian, and I'm very Gemini. I have many planets, many things in Gemini, right? Gemini sign, ruled by Mercury. So with this retrograde, it should be extremely challenging, but I'm just not going to have that. The communicating should be difficult for me, but I won't have that. We won't allow for that. Um, I will have some stumbles here for because there's a lot that I've entertained over the past couple weeks. I haven't really got on here too much, and I've been playing with a lot of different energies, different kinds of foods. So let's just start with Daniel Drury's last video on. He's in this place where he's eating a lot of raw meats now, and people are like giving him shit, saying like, "Oh, that's terrible. You don't have to kill animals to da 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 da," and they go into that whole thing, and it always gets into this veganism thing, being self righteous, and like if you haven't you know if you haven't walked that path, if you haven't done that thing, then you can't say shit. And if you've already been a meat eater, then somebody that has literally been a vegetarian for years, which is Daniel Jury, goes and eats some raw meat. You can't say shit because the whole world here is a realm of influences in a sine wave. You have the lower realms and the upper realms. You have Satan and you have God. You have demons and angels. And all that really means is earthly things, energies of the earth, densities, and then you have higher spiritual energies. I mean, you could be a breatharian if you want, and you have all the energy you want, but you'll lift off and you float away. and you could just eat all of the meat and do all of the things, and you'll earth yourself out and grind yourself out. They both have their place. And we're just dipping in and out of realms. There's no Everybody's on a different timeline. Everybody's on a different, like what I'm doing here. The You'd call it a wave or a timeline. It is separate than yours. It's connected because we're all it's all of these waves in this ocean, right? But my timeline can't link up with yours, so I can't expect you to be on the same diet as me. I can't expect you to have the same deity as me. Diet is deity. I can't expect you to eat like I eat. Some days I'll sit there, and when I've in the past talked about urine fasting or fasting on water, I can't expect anybody to just up and leave their diet and their whole system that they've held to be truth. I can't just somebody's been reading the Bible every day. I can't be like, hey, come this way. This is not right. And they're like, oh, now I see. Thanks, Zen. Like you can't. It doesn't work that way. Timelines can make jumps, and you can do different things, and you can really make a lot of waves. You can change things. You can alter your course. I mean, this is easy, but for a lot of people, they can't do that. So whether or not somebody wants to jump into a lower or higher realm is not up to you. It's not your business. Mind your business. So my business is my temple, and all I can do is speak. I can throw vibrations out at people. I can give people vibrations. I can give people currency out of my pocket. People can give me things. But as far as like, you could try to give someone something all day, but they might not accept it. You could be like, you woke up to somebody like, I have a briefcase with $1 million in it. Here, take this. They'll fucking run away from you. They'll be like, why are you giving me $1 million? Like, I have the keys to the universe. They're like, no, you don't. I certainly do. And they'd be like, no. You could walk up to somebody with a $100 bill, like, here, take this. Go to a major city. There's this guy that does this. It's an amazing thing. He'll just walk up to somebody. He'll walk up with a $100 bill, like, here, I have a $100 bill for you, and they'll just start running away from him. And then he'll give somebody an option. I have a couple candy bars, or I have a gold bullion. What do you want, a candy bar or gold bullion? And they'll take the candy bar. Like, what? If they give me that, where did that come from? Is it stolen? This is the idea people have. So, in that is to say that our paths and our journeys, and they link up. They sometimes link up with other people, and sometimes they're divergent. But all in all, if somebody wants to go, kill the sacred cow, then fucking let them, because everybody on this planet, no matter what year you think you're in, I say sometimes, being funny, I think I live in the year 3030. But can you tell me I don't? You live in the year 2018. But if you're following Gregorian calendar, then you do, because then you're under that spell or that guise. The Mayans, they wonder, what year is it for the Mayans right now? What Baktun is it? Depends on what calendar you're following. So why do I have to follow your calendar? Do you live in Ethiopia? They have a different calendar. How about the Chinese? They have a different writing system. So can you tell them how they should live their life? How they should go about practicing and participating with their higher source energy, whatever their temple is, whatever their god is, whatever their deity is. So when you're eating through these realms, no matter what you're doing, you're eating. If you're breathing, spell it out for me. BREAT. You're eating. You have to eat air. How's that air taste? Do you know what else is in that air? You have to eat air. When you drink water, they say, eat your water. Drink your food and eat your water. But you're still eating nonetheless. It's consumption. If there's no way you can't consume. If my eyes are open, I'm consuming everything in this room. If my ears are open, I'm consuming everything in this room. Everything I hear. There's no escaping the whole thing that we live on. There's this realm, this vortex, this whatever. I mean, you can dip out and go on to the other side and live in, Hyperborea or whatever these people want to call it, and sit there and meditate in the sky. And you do that and get in samadhi. But you know what they always do? They always dip back down here. Like, well, this is the realm where people need teachings. It's so this whole food thing is very funny to me, just because even through all of my stuff, teaching people like eat the fruits, drink the water, fast. But there is time for feasting. Even the get back into the warriors, the ancient ones of like the Irish ones, the Irish origins, the Vikings, right? Whenever they really slaughter a cow, it was like a whole event. It would be like a whole thing about it. I did a whole video on this a while back. You go check it out. But it's it's like, think of yourself. There's things in your life you need to get rid of. There's things in your life you need to kill. You need to die. You need parts of yourself need to die every day. How do you do that? Not what get you get rid of or exchange habits. It's really an exchange. If I get rid of, if I give something away, it will find its way through the entire universe and find its way back to me. Maybe in a different form though. Maybe in a better form. If I give somebody like, here's a couple dollars to somebody that really needs it, that energy will find its way all the way through the universe back to me. So I'm only, but to hold on to like needing that energy, that's the part of that's the real death. Letting go of energy is simple but difficult. It's like swimming. You don't you don't try not. You just kind of, you float. There's nothing really to do there. Swimming is it's the buoyancy of the water, especially in an ocean, will hold you up. It's you don't need to. There's no effort required. So what else did I call this? Let's call this eating the realms. And anybody want to put in here what else I named this so I can? I told you there might be a little bit of struggle with systems due to Mercury and the retrogrades of 5 planets and the different things. But yeah, put that in there or whatever you guys want to talk about. So hopefully that gave you a little bit. Let's see, where we at here? What up, D-Man? What's up, Zach Chrono? What up, Ahava? Dudley, answered all the war vegans, the meat eaters. Are they both mistaken? Yeah. I hear you, Dudley Papacox. I tried that too. But you'll find your way. I mean, it's all the same path, right? Mind evolved, perhaps, but I don't think so. Dudley, I like the second one. We live in a nefarious realm where beautiful things happen every day. I'd agree with that. What's up, Leon? What up, Mr. Leo? Aloha. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you go on the love and light mission, man. Have fun. Float off into the stratospheres, Dudley. Uh, and the living waters and all that is great. But even the people that have gone on the breatharian path, they still eat. They'll call themselves breatharians, but they will eat once in a while. And even if they're doing that, they're still eating themselves. They're just playing the game of the snake eating its own tail, the snake eating its own tail, the Ouroboros. He's still eating something. Thank you, Electric Towel. Shimon Diamond. Hey, yo. Yeah, truth consciousness eats itself. There it is. That's, yeah. Yeah. Retrogrades and energy. Yeah, so I think I have a thank you. And buoyancy. Yeah, buoyancy. Word up. What up, all you can. So, I don't want to make this a long one today. I'd rather just get to the points on here that were in my head, and maybe I'll do more than one today when I feel like it. I have plenty of story time, but I don't want to infect this message with all of the weird, crazy, absurd shit that happened and happens, in people's lives, and just some very funny experiences. And I'll label the videos that, and I'll try to we'll have fun time a little later on its own video. But the stories, they get fun. Yeah, Dudley. Yeah, isn't that the end game to realize it's all just a game? I think so. I mean, it depends on your philosophy again. You've got the people that thought everything was drama and comedy, and then you've got it's all a game, and then you've got the ones that thought it was purposeless, and then you've got so even in that there's many different philosophies. I mean, you could get right back into what is source code and say I am God, and then I made a mirror, and then I made a reflection, and everything was just, oh, we're all one. I was all myself, anyways. I mean, I like all of them. I don't know which one I prescribe to. You have a problem with the attachment idea. Well, what are you're attached to the problem then, right? Or are you hey Dudley Papa Cox, you have a real problem with the whole attachment idea. Isn't it the Alan Watts bit that he talks about often? Because if you're attached to non-attachment, then you're attached. So, I mean, it's you're attached to the earth. Go levitate. Then you're not attached. Oh, GP. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Eating meat does not lower your frequency and mark you as a beast. No, no, not at all. You were marked as a beast when you came into this realm. Everyone was. I mean, it's who isn't. It goes back to this. Like, who isn't consuming something of death? Everything. Love and light, higher vibration, all of this shit. I mean, it's all about use of energy, expenditure, in and out of energy. If you had to kill one animal to save 100 people, would you do it? I don't want to play those games, but that is a real serious, like, question. It's not a serious question, but it's a question. If it's vegans out here. I seen a video the other day. This girl's like, such a vegan. She's like, she's got mosquitoes all over her face. Says, I'd rather let the mosquitoes eat me than kill the mosquitoes. Now that to me is fucking insane. That's insanity. Like her crazy veganism cult religious things. Hey, it's her path, and I hope the mosquitoes get what I hope she gets what she wants, if that's what she wants. If she wants the path to death through mosquito bites, have at it. But um, ask them, same people. Would you sit down and eat one steak to have to with a bunch of people, to have them go, oh, you know what? Actually, not killing these animals will make the earth better. Because we've been trying this for a long time. We've been trying to turn this realm into something where it's love, light, peace, and happiness, and we're dancing, and no animals are hurt in the filming of this, and no animals are hurt, and with making the products and all this shit. But it just doesn't seem like, with living in a capitalist corporatocracy of people trying to step on each other's shoulders to get one up, because it doesn't seem like it can occur. It's a damn near impossibility. Especially if you really believe in freedom, then you believe in the freedom of someone murdering an animal to eat it. That's freedom, is it not? How about the Dalu Humari, who chase down animals, never shoot one, never hit it with a bow and arrow, just run more, because the animal perspires out of its mouth. It has to cool itself down through the mouth, where we can perspire out of our skin. So we're actually one giant lung that can keep running, where the animal can't, and it will outrun the animal, and the animal will die. Had they killed the animal? Is that the same story as Theseus's ship, just in a different way? Maybe that'd be too hard of an allegory for people to follow, but did they kill that animal? So I don't think GP. I don't think eating an animal marks anyone as a beast. I don't think anyone is a beast. I think it's just your body is the beast. Your body is the woman. The woman is the beast. The woman is the earth. The physicality and the matter is the beast. So there's no war between Satan and or the devil. I'm not going to get into the difference in those meanings of those words, because a lot of people use those interchangeably. So we'll just do that here. You say God created the devil. Well, then why did God create the devil? Unless it was part of him. So God, meaning the upper realms of here's it's an airy light thing, and float off into your spiritual body. But you take form into the beast, which is your physical body, which is the mother. So the mother and the father there. So I don't see a differentiation. It's like when you get out of body and do these things out of body, you can't really interact with this realm. What can you interact with? It's not a spiritual realm. It's not really called a spiritual realm. Is physicality is spirituality. It has to be connected. Yeah, Electric Saw. What's up? What's up, Holly Varner? Of course. Yeah, rock on. Dudley Papa Cucks, what do you mean? Why the fuck would I have kids if I was not inclined to be attached? I didn't ask you about your children, man. Mm. Yeah, Leo Slayer. The other day I was hanging out, and we had like all the animals, all of them, like hundreds. Like it was awesome. By the lake we had birds and all of the squirrels and stuff. We had them eating all sorts of different foods. I mean, okay, Dudley. I'm not following your line of your attachment to your sons being you're attached to them. That's cool. I know. I'm not saying either one is good or bad. I'm saying it's like you're using non-dualism. You're using like language to not understand. Maybe not understand what I'm saying. It's attachment to non-attachment. It's you can't you it's already you're already attached. As soon as you came into this realm, you're attached. I'm not saying anything different. Be attached to your family and friends. Be attached to the earth. Be attached to the clouds. I'm not dismissing that. I don't maybe you're not hearing me right, unless I'm not understanding what you're saying right. So, either way, what's up, Michael Nolan? Yeah, Shimon, I hear you on that. Michael Nolan, what you mean? I feel resentful about what? No, just came here off some people some energy, Michael Nolan. That's a word you're applying to it. That's your perception. So whatever you resent, maybe you should let go of that. Yeah, acid face melt. It's all part of the same coin. Whenever people say there's two sides to a coin, no, there's not two sides to a coin. There's the top, the bottom, and then oh, there's that whole edge there. And depending on how many edges there are, there might be 1,000 sides to a coin. Yeah, Michael Nolan, you gonna do the float tank? That's a good idea. As a Man Thinketh, one of the greatest books out there. Read that years and years ago. Carrots don't shit on the pavement though, but they will make you shit. You know, it's interesting. I was carrots. That's very funny. The other day, I've had this raw carrots versus cooked carrots conversation, and the carrot in front of the donkey conversation when people are trying to always get to the next thing. You know, I'm gonna get the next thing. I'm gonna get the next thing, and I realized the Ayurvedic teachings. They think that they were they get into cooking. You have to cook your vegetation. They weren't into fruits. They were into cooking vegetation, which is very interesting to me because then you have all these other people out here that claim like, oh, raw food diets and whatever. And I was like, oh, very very interesting that the Ayurvedic teachings said exactly what I've been saying. You have to cook the root vegetables. You have to cook the vegetation. Yeah, I think they're wrong about not eating the fruits. That the fruits or the furthering of the fruits. Excuse me. Yeah, it just has two different purposes. If you eat cooked carrots, it will improve your vision. If you eat raw carrots, it's going to help you take a shit because one's going to be fibrous and one's going to actually release all of the color. I guess if you know nutrition is it's coloring your blood, and the carrot juice isn't going to get into your blood if you're eating like just chewing on that raw carrot. Even though it's 90% water, a lot of that's not getting in your system. It's just you're gonna be using the fiber of it. Or if you cook it, you're gonna be able to mush it down, release it, and it's gonna be easier to digest because digestion is the most important part of it. That's how to digest the food, and if you can let it be digested via heating it up, that's part of digestion. You heat it up. It's microorganisms. If you make sauerkraut or one of the other um, kimchi, et cetera, beers. These are already gone through a heating up and fermentation process, or you can just put it on the stove and boil it a little bit. Michael Nolan, I don't know what time you got in here. Maybe I mean feel free to go back to the beginning of the video and see where I started it, man. Yeah, dimension extensions. The raw carrots are nice for digestion. Cooked carrots are good for vision. At least that's what I'm getting from it. At least my understanding of it. Yeah, eat some fish and potatoes. Yeah, yeah. I like cooked fish over sushi. Like I like sushi here and there, but I'd rather have it cooked. We are just animals. Is just society has made us into robots. I don't think we're animals though. I think we're well above animals. I think we're not. I mean, we have thumbs. Do you know any animals with opposable thumbs? That's why we have opposable thumbs. We're the fire keepers. So there's a as much as animals have an intelligence that we don't display anymore because we've been turned into robots. You're absolutely right, but I think we are gods turned into robots, and the animals were always supposed to be in the middle, and I think they were always supposed to be like kind of our kin, kind of our brethren. I think that's the Garden of Eden and all of that. I think that exists. I just don't know if it just gets into the 100th monkey thing. Does everybody here immediately go, oh, we have to stop? We have to stop with the corporations. We have to stop with the dead worlds. We have to stop killing the animals. I mean, does it happen? Maybe. Was the video I did the other day a silent fast? And is a silent fast beneficial for a full day? Yeah, certainly, certainly. And it wasn't really a silent fast. It was somebody asked me to come on. Like I had a couple people say, "Hey Zen, come on, do a show, do a show." And I was like, I didn't have the energy to do it. I didn't really want to. I didn't have anything to say. So I just I did the show silently. I thought just at first I was like, let me see how long I'm gonna do this, and it was a good portion of the day that I was silent. But then again, I do that a lot, and I think it helps me be able to go on here and do 2 3 hour shows. Because if I'm talking all the time, then I'm not gonna have anything to say on these shows. So there's plenty of time that it's complete silence. So yeah, certainly. Yeah, I mean, I get in those conversations all day, and I don't care if we live in a simulation. I don't care if everything's a hologram. I mean, who knows? But as far as it appears, as far as it looks, as far as it seems, as far as if I can use my senses that I was given, no, I don't. I don't think that's how. I don't think that's how it is. Mm. Leah, without cussing, interesting. I've never had a problem with cussing because I found that these words like fuck, shit, damn, cocksucker, motherfucker, cunt. Who says we can't use those and why? And so they're like, someone says don't use those. Well, why not? Who decided? Who's the goddamn motherfucker that decided this bullshit? Point them out. Let's see. Oh, you decided why? What is happening there? Can you show me cymatically what's happening? Then can you cymatically show me what's happening with the English language and why it seems to have reversed spells and we can use things in different ways? And why are those ones so bad? And why can I say some of those words to my friends and I can say, oh, this motherfucker is bullshitting right here and has a completely different tonality? But if I write it on paper, ooh, that's scary. Oh no, fucking cunt. Oh no. But I go to Australia and I can call anybody a cunt, and they think it's fucking hilarious. Call somebody a cunt here, they're like, oh. so so I've never really given, I'm with George Carlin on that bit, you know. But yeah, I hear you on like if you find words that are less suitable to be. Oh yeah, yeah, Michael Nolan, I got you. I mean, we feel like animals, like we act all these things. Yeah, 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 for sure. I'm on the board with what you're saying. What's up, Skyhopper? What's up, Steve P? Copper supplementation is good too. It got my daughter's size cells up in volume 2. Doctors cannot explain. Yeah, uh, yeah, Steve P. That's awesome. Copper is good stuff. I mean, as I've put out there before, I think the copper is, if we should be consuming any of the softer metals, gold, silver, or copper, I think copper would be the right one because it's the most conductive, and I think it's helpful to the human body. I don't supplement with it because I think we can get everything ionized through water and sunlight. We can ionize through that, and consuming any kind of metal is a little iffy. But I think there's a you know I don't, the moon doesn't have an effect on the noble metals. Let's put it that way. So copper I think has a really good use. Especially go talk to Grim Nasty about that. He's very much on the copper use and everything. Yeah, David Icke. I mean, I love that dude because he's the one, like, he's one of the ones, like, 20, I don't know, 20 years ago, whatever the fuck, woke me up to, like, shit ain't what you think it is. I'm like, oh no, god damn it. This is his 6 hour presentation. So I was like, yeah, this dude got it. But then, he got the alien moon bases. He ain't really thinking we on a realm. He ain't really claiming flat Earth. So there's people that are in place as whether it's only their mindset or whether paid to be in place the way they are, and they have like stop limiters on them. So uh, David Icke is a cool dude, but you can never tell. It's like people that have like the goodness in them, but they're not really, they don't have all the information. A lot of people are like that. I mean, there's plenty of things I probably said 5 years ago that would not link up at all with what I'm saying right now. Probably something I said yesterday. It's probably something I said in the beginning of this video that I'm not going to agree with in 10 minutes. It just so happens how evolution occurs. It's not necessarily physical evolution. It's more of a mental singularity. That's what evolution is. To have the same kind of vibrations and mindsets as other people. Hmm. Yeah, reptilian society. I got a really big tailbone, man. I got a really big tailbone. So I'm not gonna say I am one, but I'm not gonna say I'm not. I mean, I got long fangs too. I could be Dracula and a reptile. I could be cold blooded. Get that one out. I couldn't I couldn't hit that note there. Let me get some tea here. Yeah, Dudley. People give power to words that just don't belong. I find the entire English language to be nefarious. Dudley, I'm gonna dive in there real deep with you. Um, it's something I've answered before, but if we look at the origination of the world, there was one language being spoken, and we're told that it was the Tower of Babel, meaning Babylon, that split people's tongues, and all of these different nations now have different languages. And now, if we look and we look over the entire realm, or wherever you think we live, what is the universal language? English. English is called the language of the angels. If you write on a computer system, you're writing in English. So, all of the, if we look at the world as an in breath and an out breath, we go, and in the beginning there was one common thing, and then if we say the exploration or the exploding of consciousness, and then all these different languages and different things, and then it started to funnel back into itself, we'd find the language, which actually uses all of the languages all over the world, and we take bits and pieces. How amazing is it that the English language is spoken, and there's so many different dialects and tones, and even though to some people it might sound a little rough around the edges, it has it has a lot more capacity for just waviness and wonderment than any other language because it's using all of the other languages. Especially if you look into the really big dictionaries, which should actually be called definitionaries because that's a whole other thing. But I don't think it's nefarious. I don't think it's evil. There is a lot of spells that can be used in two ways, and there's a lot of things that are written backwards, and there's a lot of things that are not cymatically correct. But unless you want to speak Aramaic, unless you want to go speak Tamil, unless you want to go speak Hebrew, and even those languages weren't exactly perfect. There's no perfect language, but there is tonality means something. That's why the written word was the first tool that kind of broke things. Written words became a big problem. If you want to think something is a dilemma, it was the written word, never the spoken word. Because spoken word, you get around a bunch of people that speak different languages, but the tone will tell you everything. And it's kind of like you could get around animals, and the vibrations of their tones. So I don't think English is nefarious in any way whatsoever. I think it's been used to be because you, depending on where you live, I'm assuming you live in the U.S. and use English, and then you have the regular dictionary, then you got Black's Law dictionary, and then so now we've twisted things around, and that's only through corporate context. So then you have to understand that if you're a free man on the earth, or a aboriginal or an original to the earth versus the dead corporate world, they're just using two different. They're using English and like inverted. It doesn't make the English itself wrong. It makes it the way some people use it inferior or nefarious. And you can do that in any language, in fact. So Steve P, hopefully that got into whatever you're talking about there. No, and it could be, but it always comes back to you still have the experience. So whenever, like, for me, getting out of body or having astral projections and all of these things, it's very similar. Like, what are those? Are those simulations? Are those simulations within a simulation within a simulation? Then we're going to play that whole, Christopher Nolan, Inception kind of thing. But even at that, like, okay, so where's the real world? Are we in it? Apparently, as far as I can tell, I can feel this, I can sense it. If it's a simulation, so what? I'm still in it. You know. I mean, if we could dip out the simulation to a new one, cool. Let me know. Give me the computer codes. Give me the sounds. Give me the tones. Give me the the unspeakable. Right. Ryan Duvall, was that you talking about the copper plows charging land with plant growth? Yes, this was me. Because it's actually electrical. It's an electrical system, and the plants aren't eating the salts. The planet or the plants are not depleted. It's depleted of electricity. That's all. It's not depleted of salts necessarily because it's not eating the salts. The salt cubes are just there to refract light and energy. But if there's not enough water in the soil, and if there's not enough electricity in the soil, and that electricity can be recharged through copper. So yeah, which gets into even using orgonite and things like that to do the same thing because there's copper in the orgonite. So we can use orgonite to charge fields too, or just copper tools. Friendly with the gators, friendly with whoever, Unless people ain't friendly with me, then I'll play perfect mirror. But yeah, only sometimes. I can still be friendly with them too. What's up, Brandon? You giggle to yourself about your day? Yeah, I do all the time, man. Just be sitting there like, ain't it fun? Dudley, you submit that every entry into the dictionary is by design. Yeah, sure, sure. What dictionaries are we using though? Again, how many dictionaries are there? There's Webster's, and then there's, how many? And what years are you talking about? You want to go back and get yourself a 1933 dictionary, pre Leipzig Convention before the book burnings in the United States? You want to get yourself one of those dictionaries? So who was designing those, and now who's designing the new ones? You have different definitions. You have true definitions. You go find yourself what the word bleach means, what the word black actually means. This is Latin. Latin is clunky. Yeah, Latin and Italian. If you turn the word Italian, Latin is Italian. It's very, yeah. Jive. Yeah. I don't speak jive on here too often, but in public, that's all. That's all we speak. If you're using English, you're casting spells. Yep. Yeah, Dudley. You're right. Yeah, exactly. This is all correct. But you're casting spells in any language, though. It's not just English. Michael Nolan, you didn't find it. I told you I'd make you one, so I'll get on that for you. What is up, Journey Enlightened Path? Ustens Mullins. I'd come across his work years ago. I didn't. I remember digging on it and I liked it, but it wasn't something I got into too deep. So that was years and years and years ago. So I can't really speak on it right here. Yeah, Michael. No, the monks though. The reason I look at the shamanism monk video I made about urine therapy and things, and it's about their perception of always trying to get out of karma, where shamans were like their shamans are like they're just like, well, we're in here, and monks go, well, look, we're gonna shave our heads and we're gonna meditate and we're gonna do all this, and are they any better or any worse for it? I don't know. I can't say. I can. Do they look happier? Yeah. Is the brain working different? Are they casting themselves off into another body and doing work? Maybe. I mean, this is, but I mean, they're is that how the human is supposed to be living? Really? We're all supposed to be just sitting there living, meditating, not really doing anything? I don't know. And are you sure you sure I'm not already a monk sitting in my eyes roll back in my head, projecting me here? I, or maybe I'm projecting a monk over there as I'm sitting here talking to you. It's just that's just one path, right? It's one path. Read Siddhartha, and I think that will answer the question for you. Acid face melts. Acid face melt. Talking about astral projection, I always wondered once we dream, does this reality dissolve into where we put our focus and awareness in the dream? Uh, Refer to all of my other videos on dreams and astral projection and things like this because that's a really long one. Because there's a difference between dreaming. You got your subconscious dreams, you got your conscious dreams, you got your lucid dreams, then you got your astral projection, then you got your astral travel. Projection and travel are different. Travel would be getting out of body and walking around. That'd be like an out of body. And then projection would be project your consciousness somewhere. So you're kind of dealing with a few different things. But yeah, I think so because the way Savan Bomar spoke about it, and I agree with it, is like when you wake up, you're loading a reality. If I wake up in the AM after having a really intense, vivid out of body experience, or maybe even a lucid dream, if I wake up and I immediately open my eyes, that whole thing vanishes and I can't recall it. But if I wake slowly and I don't move my body and I don't open my eyes, I can stop and I can rewind back into that and capture all of that memory, and then I can slowly revisit it, and then get down and write it down if I want to. And that's a good thing to do is write down your dreams. But if um, after that, once you start, then you can just kind of you don't have to get up and write down your dreams in the future. Like that's the beginning. But it's good to do. It's good to go back to doing every once in a while. But you're loading programs basically. What's up, Kevin Har? Don't you think there is a difference in the quality of consciousness between plants and animals? Isn't it more moral to reduce the harm that is caused through our consumption? I don't deal with morality or morals or ethics. I think because they're so very, 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 very extremely subjective. Um, I think we just know what is good, and what is good uh, for, say, the Alaskan tribe of people living off of whale blubber, because they can't have any plants and animals, or they can't have any plants, and there's really nothing there for them to eat because they can't grow anything. Then what should they eat? It depends on your location. This is all your location. When in Rome, do as the Romans do, right? You can't. If it wasn't for the fact that there are aeroplanes now, you couldn't live. You couldn't live in, say, um, the northern regions of Russia and expect to eat any fruits, but yet they can because they're shipped fruits. But should that be their local diet and climate? Should that be what they're eating? It wouldn't be suitable. It couldn't be suitable, and it isn't suitable because eating fruits, if you live up there, is thinning your blood and it's going to hurt you. But if you live somewhere where there is animal, now if you have something like you live in the say um, the Tropic of Capricorn, Tropic of Cancer, you have a variance depending on the season. So your diet should be season related. But since we have grocery stores, and since we have these marketing things, and we have these ice boxes, between the train, the plane, and the invention of refrigerator, we've totally ruined our diet, which is supposed to be hand to mouth. We've totally ruined our connection to the earth and other humans because we just throw it in the icebox. We throw it in the freezer. You're not supposed to be able to get a cold ass beer at the equator. You're not supposed to be. Just not supposed to happen. You're supposed to drink the beer the way it would be served. Would be like they have it there on the shelf, and that's what you're drinking, and it's going to be about room temperature. They might be able to, they might be smart, and I'm sure if you really knew what they were doing, they would make a clay egg and put it into there, and that clay egg would cool it down to a nice temperature, and you could get your beer out of there, but it wouldn't be a cold beer out of the freezer. So these things have disconnected us totally from our local environment and what we should be consuming. But to just further that, like reduce harm, yeah, I get you. Like that was the number one thing, Kevin Hart, the Hippocratic Oath is to reduce harm, right? All the doctors sign the Hippocratic Oath, which is to reduce harm, to do no harm. And yet all they ever do is harm people because they're short-sighted, and they're short-sighted in everything they do. They can't even see that putting toxic sludge, toxic metals, heavy metals into people hurts them. They can't even see it because they're blind to it as well. They can't see that these little white pills offer nothing but a momentary, like, they can't see it. So, but yet they cause great harm to the whole planet, to the people. But they can't accept it. They got a they got a family to feed and a paycheck to make and a house to pay for and some kids to put off to college to keep the next cycle of people in the corporate entity alive and running the system. So that they can't. How are they gonna see it? So reducing harm to animals. Hey man, I mean, it's just where you live. Where do you live? Is there too many animals? Like, has it been overgrown? Are these animals running around just destroying everything? What do you do? Just let them do that? I mean, it's a very long-winded question, man. But I mean, I'm not one for where I live. I don't need to eat animals. I don't need to. The climate is fine here for me to eat fruits and vegetables. Do I choose to eat animals once in a while? Yeah, I eat fish. If I got friends in town and they're meat eaters, I'm like, I'm not really hungry. Be like, come on, eat. All right, if you guys want me to hang, really, okay, fine. I'll chow down this like turkey burger or whatever the hell they had. That's fine. But other than that, like my diet, like the next 5 days, I'll fast on water. I'll loop my urine. So what's caused less harm? I don't know. The animal is already dead. I can't bring it back to life. I didn't go slaughter it. That's the biggest point I can make. I can't tell these corporations to shut their fucking door. I can't be like, excuse me, can you stop with your your whole business? Can you stop all of these? There's how many thousands of restaurants in the city I live in? How many thousands? And they all serve pretty much meat. I'm gonna go to the butcher and be like, hey buddy, you gotta stop killing those animals. And even the butcher's gonna be like, I didn't kill the animals. I got it from the guy over there. I'm gonna go there. You gotta stop killing these animals. He's like, what are you talking about? You're gonna now I gotta go talk to everybody that eats animals. I gotta be like, you guys gotta stop eating animals, and they're gonna be like, fuck you. That's what they're gonna do. You can't change their minds. It's ridiculous. I mean, I get what you're saying, but how you go about telling people like, hey, there is a better way. Good to see you, Travis. What's up? What's up? Uh-huh. Dreams tend to you have some subconscious dreams, Michael Nolan, that then tend to deal with like, um, just internal conflicts. Like but they're always symbolic. They're symbolic gestures. So if you know that, like, oh, you see a tiger in your dream, but a tiger's chasing you or something, and then you have a fear of something, and then you could get in symbology of that. But it was a purple tiger, and then you'd be like, oh, it's royalty and blah blah blah. You can play with all that, and you'll know those subconscious dreams because everything is very wild and symbolic. But getting out of body, you're gonna deal with the reality just the way it is, and you're just actually exploring reality. And there's not too much symbolism. I mean, yeah, we're wrought with symbolism everywhere, anyways. But you're viewing it from a different perspective. You know, subconscious is like somewhere in the back of your mind or the depths of the whole conscious realm. I don't know where mind starts. If we want to get into, is it in your brain, or is it in the bigger mind? But when you get out of body and there's lucid experiences, I think that's more of just experiential. So guys, I got like 5 more minutes just because I'm kind of crooked in the seat, and I want to go get myself a little bit more tea. And like I said, I want to get into split these videos apart a little more than doing these 2 hour talks. So people don't get turned off to the idea that they got to come listen to me jibber jabber on for 2 or 3 hours every time. Dudley Poppycocks, don't they say intention has always paved the road to hell? Good intention. Yeah, but then again, Dudley and I just play the devil's advocate for the same thing and say, there's a lot of people that they'll get the right result with the wrong means, but then you have some people that have the right means to get the wrong results. It's like giving the right tool to the wrong person. These kind of things. It's just everything, whether we like it or not, is rife with uh, this contradictory allegory. Journey enlightened path. What's my um, back to raw foods and entering? What do you mean eating shit? I don't eat shit. I don't know what you're saying there, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, I'm still like, Don Tolman's that dude, man. Dan and Drew, like he's done his thing. He's in a different place. He's in a different country. His energy levels. Now, what I was getting at the beginning of the video, just to hit on it one more time, is I think what he's dealing with as well is all of these planets in retrograde. So there's probably been time in his life where he ate a lot of meat, and these planets are very. And when I say planets, I'm talking about moving bodies of energy, which actually are people that you're coming across might be restricting or pulling energy from you. So, like if I like the other few days, like the past couple weeks, I got in New Orleans and there's a lot of people that are engaging in, succubusing my energy, and I'm feeling weak and depleted. Do I go, well, that's a problem with my diet of me being a fruitarian? Or is that a problem with me interacting with people that are actually leeching off of my energy? And maybe what he doesn't notice is that it's actually the interaction with the city itself and the people within it that are leeching off of his energies. Now that is my idea on the walking through the realms and eating through the realms is a lot of people say, well, the cause of the lack of energy I have is not eating meat. Well, are you sure? Are you sure it's not where you're expending your energy and how you're expending your energy? I mean, for me, I accept when I waste my energy and I have to fucking take 2 days off and I'm just like, I just blew all my money, blew all my energy, and just like, here, take it. But I know for me those were seeds planted, and I know most of them are good seeds. And the ones that have to die, like the seeds that okay, some fall by the wayside. I'm not a perfect planter, I'm not a perfect gardener, but if I got some energy, I'm gonna use it. What's it there for? I'm gonna and if I use the proper word there, it's investing energy. It's not really people don't take my energy. I invest it into people. So if I had $1 million, I'd invest it all right now. It's all invested. And be like, "Why you just got rid of it? You just throw it away?" No, it's invested. And I got no money right now. You got no money right now? No, let me just take a nap for a couple days. You gonna fast now? You just throw all your money away? Like, no, it didn't. It didn't work that way. So for him, I think it's just, and I think for a lot of people, people that can't do the vegetarian thing, can't do this thing, it's just where they are, and whatever energies of, again, five planet, five moving bodies of energy in retrograde. So you come across things that you've dealt with maybe years ago, maybe in childhood, maybe whatever. Like those things are succubuses of energy, and think that you need to revitalize through the use of blood isn't the best course of action, but it can be helpful, because always blood is vampiric to an extent, but there's nobody on this planet that has not and is not and doesn't perform vampiric activities or magical activities or godlike activities or angelic activities. It's a continuum of weirdness out here. We're in a sine wave. We're in a sine wave of many different forms and faces and fashions. So so check it out, hey guys. If we can cut off the questions so I can get that out of here, so you guys don't think I'm not answering your questions at the end, and I don't want to jump over anything here. Acid face, does if the body dissolves, it might, man. Yeah, old beer. Yeah, Michael. No, old beer was drank at room temperature, but if you look into the egg shaped clay pots, and they would sweat and it would recycle and it would cool water down, and they could also use that for beer. Check that out. Well, all you can. Yeah, I hear you all you can, but you know what? there's microwave energy around us everywhere, every day. How could we? How I'll do a whole video on that. I've touched on it before. I'll do a whole video on it and how we can kind of interact with it properly. I'll say it that way. Well, thank you, Kevin Har. A journey of a light path. How does the coincidence and right time, right moment of fate, if you will? Yeah, I was just saying. With some people, it's like that. Other times, it's like I purposely, I purposely do this. I purposely will do this. Other times, like, for me, I'm in this like kind of zone where like I had a few days where I was just like somebody be talking, I'm like, hey, look at this, and I pull out a book and I'll open it up and I'll just point to it and it would be the basic. It'd be any book I wanted on my shelf, and it would just say exactly what they're saying. Somebody walked in my house, was like, oh, they wanted some healing done, and I said, okay. I opened this book, point to it. I just open up, scroll right to the page. I was like, oh, here's your body type, and here's everything about you. And I look right at her, and she starts laughing because the whole paragraph and a half describe her. And so it just there's that, which is kind of like, you know, fate and coincidence and right time, right moment. And there's that, and there's also like, you know, writing your own book and doing what you want. I kind of live in between those two things because I think they both have their values. And sensitivity is a great thing. Dudley. I don't know what you're saying about clever and honesty. I don't know where does that come from? Is that like being clever does not equal being honest? I never said it does. I don't think it does. And back again, Dudley Poppycox. God created the devil, so God must have been a very Michael Nolan, you said you feel sick or you feel. I don't know what you're saying there, man. Yeah, organite is good. Okay, so check it up, yo. I'm gonna call this a day right here and come back to you guys later with some more maybe stories and gifts and wonderments and whatever, and we'll have some playtime later. So it was good talking to y'all. Hope you yeah, good to see you, Leo. Good to see you, Divine. Good to see everybody else on here. Hope this was enjoyable. As always, um, yes, there we go. There we go, Steve P. And always stay genius, stay godlike, stay like the devil. Be clever, be wise. You know, keep your ass clean. Get yourself a bidet. Remember that one. Be cool. Be nice to your neighbors. Whatever. Have a fun time. That's the most important. Joy is the highest good, right? We'll talk soon. Bang bang.